Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5.
Former Springfield Mayor Christine Lundberg's son faces 10 felony charges of encouraging child sex abuse. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for NBC 16 at 5. I'm Kendall Bartley. 39-year-old Benjamin Lundberg was arrested this morning. Our reporter Lauren Negretti breaks down the investigation timeline.
Police say Lundberg's arrest was the result of an ongoing investigation into child pornography.
Springfield police booked Benjamin Lundberg into the Lane County Jail just after 10 a.m. Tuesday. His arrest was reportedly part of an ongoing investigation involving several agencies. SPD says a search warrant served August 13th at a West Springfield residence resulted in the seizure of numerous digital devices possessed by Lundberg. Investigators say they found evidence of encouraging child sex abuse. Lundberg now faces 10 felony counts. This isn't the first time Lundberg's been arrested. In 2017, he was accused in a tire slashing spree in Springfield, involving at least 27 different vehicles. He was convicted and served 10 days in jail along with 2 years of supervised probation.
His mother, Christine Lundberg, resigned from her position Saturday after that search warrant was served. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Lauren Negretti.
Former Mayor Christine Lundberg had just won another term in office in the May primary. And we're getting a better idea of when discussions will start for the interim Springfield mayor. Springfield City Council President Joe Pictionary says it will be discussed at their next meeting September 8th. Meanwhile, there's an active petition to keep Councilor Pictionary from becoming interim mayor over his history as a Lane County Sheriff's deputy. There was an investigation in 2016 over his using regular paid work hours and a sheriff's office car to attend a conference related to his role as a city councilor. A Justice Department investigation did not find enough evidence to charge him with a crime. However, the Lane County District Attorney's Office says Pictionary's statement in the case were not credible and that any future investigations involving him could be compromised. For Springfield School member Dr. Emilio Hernandez Jr. to be appointed to the interim mayor position. A new state highway sign in Springfield will replace a vandalized sign that honored a fallen Eugene police officer. The sign stood at the end of Highway 126 in Springfield, the Officer Chris Kilcullen Memorial Highway. EPD Officer Chris Kilcullen was shot and killed 9 years ago during a traffic stop on Highway 126 near 52nd Street. ODOT regional spokeswoman Angela Beer-Seidel says highway crews discovered the vandalized sign on the side of I-105 about 2 months ago. Chris's father, John, says those who have information need to come forward.
Don't do it. Come forward. Let us know who it was and understand what it is that you did and how your actions impacted not only the family but a lot of members of the community.
We're just happy to do this. We are glad that we were able to get it done quickly.
Beer-Seidel says the new replacement sign is waiting to be installed. ODOT crews are due to lay the concrete base for the sign this week. Ahead at 5:30, John Kilcullen talks about the legacy of his late son. A man in a pickup truck chased 14 girls in an SUV in Springfield last night. Eugene police say Ronald Joseph Gordson hit 2 police cars and drove through a fence on Main Street. Police say Gordson made a Nerf device out of a tire iron, a small axe, and a crossbow. Police say they used a taser and less than lethal rounds on Gordson. Gordson eventually gave up. He now faces multiple charges, including reckless driving, menacing, and assault. And an update on a Eugene woman who went missing nearly 2 weeks ago. According to Cottage Grove police, the family of 36-year-old Bettina Francisca Madrid says there have been sightings of her in the Cottage Grove area. Eugene police say she is white with shoulder-length reddish-brown hair, green eyes, and freckles. She's 5'10" and weighs 145 pounds. Anyone with information is asked to contact EPD. On to wildfire season, the Beachy Creek fire in the Opal Creek Wilderness is about 10 acres and still 0% contained. 24 more firefighters, a team of rapplers, and a helicopter are helping to battle that fire today. The remote location and limited roads is creating a challenge for firefighters. For a full list of road, trail, and campground closures, visit our website, NBC16.com. Meanwhile, the Mosier Creek fire in the Columbia River Gorge is now 75% contained. It's been kept to to just below 1,000 acres. Fire crews mobilized under the state fire marshal have returned home. Crews with the Oregon Department of Forestry will continue mop-up operations. That fire's destroyed 8 homes. We don't know exactly what sparked it, but firefighters say it was human-caused. Several recent fires in Douglas County have started because of power lines. Douglas Electric Cooperative says dead and dying trees are falling into those lines. To minimize the risk of fire, they've implemented more preventative measures. Additional crews, drones, and the state's fire risk data map are some of the tools they're using. They're also using new fuses that don't emit sparks.
We've always been doing something with regard to fire mitigation, clearing our right-of-way and making sure that what we can do, we do, and do it effectively.
They've been moving some of the lines closer to the road to minimize the fire danger, and they're working with the Douglas Forest Protective Association and local firefighters. Taking a live look out in Eugene now. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Another one here in Eugene. Alan Matthews joins us at our weather center. Alan, this weather's just gorgeous.
Yeah, temperatures not quite as hot as yesterday. We've dropped maybe about 5 degrees or so from this point 24 hours ago. And we're actually still looking for the possibility of some rain in our forecast. We definitely could use it. Things have been very hot and dry lately. Eugene hasn't quite hit 90. We're at 89 degrees under a mostly sunny sky. I know Roseburg did hit the 90s. Winds are fairly calm and our humidity at 32%. Talking about the fire danger and our fire potential, well, Lynn and Lane County, along with Coos and Douglas County, all in the extreme level. Hopefully we'll get some rain today as we get toward the end of the week. Now, as far as our radar satellite is concerned, not a lot to show you in our area. You can still see some showers popping up around the Bend area this afternoon. As far as our power planner is concerned, we'll see some clouds increase tonight into your morning hours tomorrow. Temperatures, though, will continue to be cooler, and there's that possibility of rain around the corner. We'll give you all the details with our full forecast a little later on. Kendall?
Thanks, Alan. Covering the nation, lawmakers have been critical of the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. Now he's responding by suspending changes to the Postal Service. In a statement released today, DeJoy said, quote, "To avoid even the appearance of any impact on election mail, I'm suspending these initiatives until after the election is concluded." Those initiatives include banning overtime, late delivery trips for carriers, cutting back office operating hours, and removing sorting machines, and in some areas, mailboxes. DeJoy is set to testify this Friday before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. That's ahead of the House committee's hearing he's expected to testify at next Monday. This comes as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called lawmakers back to Washington to vote on a measure that would allocate $25 billion in funding. And today's the day of the virtual Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Among the speakers tonight, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, former President Bill Clinton, and presumptive nominee Joe Biden's wife, Dr. Jill Biden. Dr. Biden is set to close out the night when she speaks from the Delaware classroom where she used to teach. Education has been a central theme of her message during her husband's presidential campaign. Biden himself is set to accept the party's nomination Thursday in Delaware. Governor Kate Brown is urging the census deadline to be pushed back to make sure that everyone is able to complete the census count. Now, the census count was originally supposed to end in July, but the Census Bureau pushed the deadline back to October 31st to accommodate employees during the pandemic. Well, then the Bureau brought the deadline up to September 30th. Now, Governor Brown and other bipartisan governors said the deadline should remain October 30th. They say moving the deadline up could prevent tribal communities, immigrant and refugee communities, and rural communities from responding in time. The Oregon Employment Department says over May, June, and July, employers added back 38% of the jobs that were cut in March and April. They say more than 20,000 jobs were added in July. Oregon's unemployment rate dropped to 10.4% in July from 11.6% in June. Turning to coronavirus cases in Oregon, the Oregon Health Authority reports 237 new confirmed and presumptive cases and 9 new deaths. There are more than 23,600 cases, and there are 397 deaths statewide. Marion County reported the most cases today with 48. At least 1,900 people have been hospitalized since the pandemic started. That is 8% of the state. Some counties in Oregon are reporting coronavirus recoveries and active cases, while other counties are not. We spoke with Coos County and Lane County Public Health to get their take on the value of those numbers. Coos County officials say giving numbers like these would cause more problems than help.
This information is not valuable or adding value to the situation of what's going on in Coos County. If they want to know, hey, there's 10 cases that are currently still in isolation status, well, if they're isolating, then why is that a concern to anybody?
Now, in Lane County, health officials say there isn't a hard definition of what recovery is, although they are reporting cases that are currently infectious. They say if you subtract deaths and the number of infectious cases from the total, the remainder are recovered cases.
The majority of people are recovering. The majority of people do not need hospitalization. And the majority of people who currently or who have experienced COVID are not infectious right now. We only have 31. So I do think that there is quite a bit of value to it.
He says the average span of sickness is from 14 to 21 days. The Oregon Health Authority dashboard on county case totals also reports recovered, active, and total cases. Coming up next on NBC 16 at 5, video captured an assault in Portland, a timeline of the incident as police search for the suspect. Plus, a new method to test for coronavirus is gaining some traction. How soon people can get results by using their saliva.